We test speed, we test jumping, we test power, and we test track skills. We test to find out which one of these cars is the ultimate diecast car. This is the Diecast Cup. And then there were 16, the qualifiers for the Diecast Cup. These cars will be competing in 8 events to find out which car is the best car in my son's toy box. You're watching the introduction show where we will get to know a little bit about these cars and talk about which ones are the favorites to win these events. We'll start with the 16th qualifier, 16th in the qualifying points, squeaked in by 2 points over Pluto, and it is Gumball number 4. He really only did well in one event, the block blow. He finished second place, 16th in the speed trials, but it was good enough. It was a good enough average to get him into the tournament. I do not expect him to do very well, although he will be here making plenty of money for his sponsors. The 15th place qualifier is the only car in the field that was not manufactured by Hot Wheels, and it is Mickey Mouse, manufactured by Disney. He got in on the wheels of 2 top 10 finishes, 9th in the long jump and 5th in the block blow. Our 14th place qualifier was Thomasina III, and he got in just by being consistent. 27th place in the speed trials, 12th place in the long jump with his best finish, 21st in the block blow. Thomasina is a car that can do really well in this tournament and score a lot of cup points and actually challenge to get up there in the top 5, despite only finishing 14th in qualifying. The biggest surprise to make the field is BDC 73. It is a surprise because usually bigger cars like this that are top heavy do not do well. But BDC 73 did manage an 11th place finish in the speed trials, one of the fastest cars out there. Stayed consistent with 23rd and 21st place finishes, and here he is. Not a car we expect to challenge for the Diecast Cup, but still pretty proud that he can be here and represent the bigger cars of the toy box. Qualifying in 12th place is the Honda Civic Si. This is another car that we expect to have very large amount of success in all these events. 7th place in the speed trials, 15th place in the block blow, a 30 and 31st place finish in the other events. Watch out for the Honda Civic CI. This is another car that could challenge for a top 10 finish in the Diecast Cup. And now we get to one of the biggest favorites to win this event, and that is Ballistic. He did actually not do well for his standards in qualifying, his best finish being 15th in the long jump, but we do expect him to score a lot of qualifying points and challenge not just to get in the top 5, but actually challenge to win the Diecast Cup. This is a car that does have a chance to win it. Our 10th place qualifier is the Rogue Hog. This is a pretty good track car, finishing 12th in the triple loop. He also finished 14th in the block blow, so he does have a lot of power. We do not expect this one to compete for the championship, but it is an interesting car to watch. And now the 9th place qualifier, the Monty Racer, may be the most interesting car to watch. He won the speed trials, he won the triple loop, finished 22nd in the long jump, had a terrible performance in the block blow, only finished 51st, which is why it dropped all the way down to 9th place. But this is a car that can definitely challenge to win the Diecast Cup, especially considered he won 2 qualifying events. In 8th place came the Silver Bullet, the second fastest car in the speed trials. He also finished 11th in the block blow. However, this is not a very good track car as he only finished 24th in the triple loop. And he doesn't have very good jumping skills as well, finished 36th. So even though Silver Bullet is a very fast car and a very powerful car, I would not expect him to finish up towards the top of all the other cars in this field. Then we have the Clear Speeder, which is one of the fastest cars in the box, despite finishing 14th in the speed trials. Must have just had 2 bad runs. 3rd in the long jump, 16th in the triple loop. Clear Speeder has an outside chance to challenge to win the cup. Qualifying in 6th place is the Wise Brothers. He finished 11th in the long jump and 1st in the block blow. If you remember, he defeated every other car by a massive 15 inches, pushing his block way further than anybody else. However, Wise Brothers did struggle on the triple loop, finishing 35th. Remember, he had to go all the way down to the single loop to qualify. We do not expect Wise Brothers to challenge to win this championship. However, he could challenge to win a couple events, obviously the ones that involve power. Qualifying in 5th place is one of the more boring looking cars in this box. It's Lexus Special Edition. Despite looking boring, he performed extremely well during qualifying with 3 top 10 finishes. The only one he struggled with is the triple loop. Qualifying in 4th place is, in my opinion, the car to beat in this field, and that is Protome Energy. He is not going to blow anybody away with any of his performances. However, it is his consistency that will help him rack up the points and challenge to win the Diecast Cup. Then we have the Boulevard Bruiser, a bit of surprise, unknown car, as it is a car my son just got for Christmas. He finished 6th in the long jump, was his best finish. 20th in the speed trials was his worst finish. So this is another car that is very consistent and of course has a very good chance to challenge to win the Diecast Cup. Then we have Imparable, another very consistent car whose worst finish was 18th in the speed trials. His best finish was 8th in the long jump. Consistency again is a very good key to racking up a lot of points and challenging for the cup. And finally, our top qualifier, Fandango, who finished 1st place in the long jump, 3rd place in the triple loop, 17th in the speed trials, and 18th in the block blow. High scores in every single event. This car might be the favorite to win the Diecast Cup. Now, I encourage you to comment below on which cars you think are going to win the Diecast Cup, who's going to perform best in the 8 events that will test their speed, their jumping ability, their power, and their track ability. If I had to choose 3 cars that I think will win this Diecast Cup, I believe it'll be Ballistic, Protome Energy, or Fandango. Please subscribe to see our next video, which will be event number 1 to begin the Diecast Cup.